Okay, so this is the VIVE Pre. So this is very close to our final consumer version of the headset. You'll notice that these are the sensors that are tracked by lasers, and this is our front-facing camera that allows you to see some of the real world while you're in VR. Comfort's really important, and it's very crucial that the headset fits well, because otherwise you can get light bleed and other things that damage the immersion. So we ship VIVE with two face cushions, different shapes, one that's more curved and one that's flatter to fit different shaped faces. We have this head strap that is adjustable by Velcro on three places, and this void at the back that helps the headset fit snugly back of the head. And we have these kind of hinge mechanisms here, so really it should be able to fit any shape, size head. This section of the headset pulls away slightly as well, so you can increase the gap between your eyes and the screens. It's also particularly helpful for people with glasses.
The glasses don't impact the...
Most people keep their glasses on, but some people take them off, and I guess you'd only really work it out if you experiment.
Yeah.
But most people keep it on. The last level of adjustment really is that you can also, by twisting this, you can move the lenses closer together or further apart depending on the distance of your eyes. So all that together really goes to make a nice comfortable headset. This is the Tether Cables. You have four outputs: the headphones, power, USB and HDMI.
Yeah.
5-meter cable goes into that sync box, and then cables go into the back of the PC. The only way to deliver good VR really is at 90 frames a second.
Yeah.
If you run lower than 90 frames, you'll get motion sickness often. So it's much better to have the cable and run at 90 frames than to run at 30 frames and not have a camera. Not have a cable. We're delivering HD, high resolution content.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll be untethered, right?
Yeah.
One day, but right now it needs to be tethered. Otherwise, the experiences will be horrendous because you need to have the frames.
Yeah.
We also have these controllers, which also come in the box. So you have a void at the top, which allows for less weight at the top end, so it fits a bit more balanced. And also you have sensors on the inside of this ring, and that allows for better tracking, positional tracking. You have trigger button, very standard. A grip button here. We won't use that today though. 3 buttons on the top, a menu button, a sort of trackpad, which is also a push button, and this is the camera and power. And it's micro USB charge. So again, those charging cables and the power plugs come in the box. Minimum of 4 hours continuous play. There's only one version, right? One headset with all the cables, 2 controllers, charging cables, and base stations. So what makes VIVE different and special is that it operates on laser tracking. So these 2 base stations are tracking you 60 times a second, so within a millimeter precision. It's very important when you're in the headset that everything feels where it should be. So if you move, everything moves appropriately. When you move your hand, you see the controller. That's all to do with the precision of the laser tracking. It also delivers far lower latency than camera tracking. So when you move in the headset, it's happening almost immediately. In fact, it's happening so quickly that it feels completely real time. They sync wirelessly, so they just talk to each other over the air. They tend to be tailored, right? So Elite Dangerous is designed as a seated flight space simulation. And that's what they do, that's fine. You can have 2 base stations set up, fine, but you only need one. So yeah, I mean, different software will operate with different parameters, and there are ways that developers will cope with that, getting things into smaller or larger spaces, and that's what room scale allows. When you can go big, it means you can also go smaller. And there are ways that you can traverse bigger distances or get from A to B that don't involve big walking as well. So it's kind of a mixture of everything.
So I've just finished my experience of the HTC VIVE for the first time, and I've got to say it's an excellent piece of kit. Very, very immersive, very different to any other VR that you'd experience. You really feel like you're there. You can't tell what's going on, apart from the wire, which I almost tripped over a couple of times. I got my hands on a couple of demonstrations. The first one, I was underwater and a giant whale came over and I literally jumped out of the way of the whale, even though it's not a physical manifestation. The second one was an office environment where you're taught to work. It was a little hard to get used to your experiences on the office, like what you're doing and stuff like that. But I've got to say it was quite fun just because I was actually physically doing it. A lot more fun than sitting in my office anyway. And the final one was a paint demonstration. That was a bit more difficult, I've got to admit. I think it would take some getting used to before real artists or real people could use it. Having said that, I got to paint 3D shapes and make stars come out of my hands. Who's never wanted to do that before? So that's the HTC VIVE. I definitely recommend it if you ever get a chance to have a go because it's a lot of fun. And that's coming to the UK sometime in the next few months.